Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Do you know what's better than having materialistic things?
Knowledge.
Yeah, well, maybe not. But knowledge is potential power. So how's that New Year resolution of wanting to read more this year working out for you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, all of us want to read more, especially me. But over the last few years, I've seen like a stark decline in the amount of books that I've been reading. And I wanted to get back to my old habits. And I used to spend a lot of time reading. But over the last few years, I've somehow convinced myself that I don't have the time. And in this video, we're going to talk about why that's complete rubbish. I have the time, and how all of us have the time to read at least 15 books a year. And we're going to talk about some tips that's been helping me to find time in my day to read. So if you're interested, stick around. So here's the math. So if we spend 5 minutes reading, so let's say that, well, an average book has around 300 pages, and we take about a minute to read one page. Well, if we spend about 5 minutes, that's 1,825 minutes a year. That equates to about 30.4 hours of reading time in a year. And if you divide that by number of average pages, which is 300, well, that equates to about 6.1 books. And maybe some of us are slow readers, some of us need to check Instagram in the middle. At least we could say that we can read 5 books in a year. If we move that from 5 to, let's say, 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day is still possible. If we just increase from 5 to 15, then we have about 5,475 reading minutes in a year, and that's about 91.3 hours. And if we divide that by 300, which is the average number of pages, well, we get about 18.25. And let's say we aren't so focused, we miss a few days, or we are much slower than we expect. If you round it down, you can still read about 15 books a year. And that is super impressive. I mean, imagine telling that to your friends and how impressed they would be. 15 minutes a day and 15 books a year. So when I read this math, what I realized was all those excuses that I was giving myself that I can't read is just bullshit. I mean, I can find 15 minutes in a day. Jesus Christ. I mean, how much time do you actually spend on that explore page on Instagram to find something exciting? Yeah, that's what I thought. Everybody can find 15 minutes in a day. And this is my biggest failure, where I have been like complaining to myself that I have no time, but I can find 15 minutes. So now I try to make it a point to at least read 15 minutes a day. I've gotten back into the rhythm of reading, and just this math has made me realize like I have the time. I just need to find those 15 minutes and really dedicate it to reading. So here are some tips on how to find some time to get yourself to sit down and actually read. And these are the things that have been helping me, and I hope that it helps you. Number 1, keep your book always at your reach. Well, or just switch to a Kindle, because it's so much more easier. I actually read a research which says that switching to a Kindle increases the chances of you reading by more than like 30% or something, which could be a bias because those who read a lot would buy a Kindle. Yeah, anyway, but I have a Kindle and I absolutely love it. And I think that it just removes the friction of being able to buy books, read it, always have access to it, and you can just whip it out anytime if you have a little bit of time here and there, and continue reading. So I would suggest, number 1 tip that has helped me a lot is to have Kindle by my side, or if not, just have your book by your side. Number 2, try to find those little downtimes. Like we all have those downtimes where we're either waiting for somebody, or we're commuting on public transport, or let's say that you just wake up and you have like 5 minutes of grogginess, and the first thing that we all do is reach out to our phone, right? But instead, maybe we can reach out to our Kindle and just read for 5 minutes. How about reading before you go to bed? If it's so boring and you fall asleep, well, at least you're going to get some good sleep. If not, you're going to be super interested and read more. So it's a win-win. So keep your phone aside from the bed, but keep your Kindle by your bedside table, so you always have something to reach out to if you're bored and can't fall asleep. I think that has actually helped me out a lot to increase my reading. So find these little moments during the day We all have those little downtimes throughout the day. Maybe we're commuting on public transport, we are on the treadmill, or we are having something to eat. Well, instead of watching YouTube, you could just read a book, or maybe you're on the toilet. So find those little moments throughout the day, and all these little downtimes can add up to quite a lot. Number 3, don't over glorify reading. Well, if you want to actually gain some knowledge or learn a technical skill, there are better ways right now to get those skills. I wouldn't pick up a book called How to Program in Python and try to read it and learn. Instead, I would just sign up for Code Academy and learn it in a more intuitive way, or take a course on it. People glorify reading. It has come from a time when reading was the only way to actually gain knowledge, but now we could take up a course. There are so many interactive ways to learn. So don't over glorify it. Instead, read for the fun of it. Read for the sake of reading. Read because you're going to enjoy your time reading, and not because you just need to get something out of that book. Number 4, don't be guilt-shamed into reading the entire book. I mean, so many of those books out there are just utter crap. You don't need to feel like a failure for stopping in the middle. I mean, you don't owe the authors or anybody anything. Just read how much ever you feel like, or if the book interests you, then keep reading. If not, just throw it aside. Well, most of these business books that everybody has been flaunting around, they just have like one interesting concept, and the moment you get that, well, you don't need to read further. It's just pages and pages of garbage filled in, because, well, nobody is going to print out a 20-page book, are they now? So as soon as you get the point and you know that you don't need to read further, just throw away the book, get a new one. Don't be guilt-shamed into reading the entire book. Life is too short. Number 5, to become a person who loves to read, read what you love. I stole this one from Naval Ravikant. I mean, he is an avid reader and a modern time philosopher. He has this lovely saying where he says that first, in order to become a person who loves to read, read what you love. So just pick up books. I mean, when you were a child, I'm sure you were gravitated towards some books, and because those topics interested you. So pick up those books. Don't force yourself. Without internal motivation, you can't keep up something for the long run, right? If fiction is what you love, pick up a fiction book. If you are interested in a certain topic, if it's even just blog posts or articles, just pick that up. So read what you love, and then eventually you will love to read. So these are 5 simple tips that has actually helped me to read a lot. I hope it helps you. 15 minutes. Yeah, your 15 minutes starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.